you and melt your fucking equipment and destroy all the electronics on board. But, you know, we didn't know about it, so we got to space fine. But look, this is very obviously, like, I don't care what you say. That's in space. I don't care if you want to say it's water, air, but that's what I would think would look like in the reality that is presented to us on a daily basis.
So, traveling through space, do you think fuel would be able to ignite?
Oh, no. No, in a vacuum? That's proven already.
I was trying to tell this shit to Jerome, and he's all like, no, it's different fuel. It's still a combustion system. And I'm like, no, dude, there's no oxygen, no.
Even if and they have oxygen tanks on them, but even with that extra...
Once it gets out into the open...
it can't combust.
Yeah, so all you would need is air thrusters to travel through, right?
Oh, I mean, you just need the initial inertia, right? So you need the takeoff, and
then your acceleration doubles like almost every second because there's no friction, there's nothing to slow you down, so you just keep on. So you would need like reverse thrusters too when you're making landings to Earth or the Moon or whatever fucking planet you're going to.
Yeah, and then that's part of the whole trying to. Elon Musk's thing, you know, SpaceX trying to travel to Mars and land back on Earth with his rocket, you know what I mean, and actually land. And that's I don't know. For me, that's just this is a crazy concept, man. So this is just insane to me, though. I can't see how people can say we didn't leave the atmosphere and then we did. But if you have this rocket and it's traveling through space, right? They have these things that they say it's like. It's wind. There's space wind, right? There's supposed to be like something in space that's like wind, right? Is that gonna affect projection? And what is that? Is that a gravitational force from, you know, other things that are floating up there? Is it waves in this liquid ocean thing that we're under? You know what I mean? So there's so many different things that it could be, but reality would just dictate that it doesn't.
I'm most fascinated by the no temperature in space. So like if you were to expose yourself to like your skin to the
like this
to this oh wow
it goes to negative.
Well, I heard Neil deGrasse Freemason saying that there's no temperature in actual space, but I know he's never been there. So like if you were to actually expose to your skin or whatever to the outside of space, whatever, like you wouldn't get cold, like as they always say, like having the movies and shit. Like you wouldn't get cold, you would just be like, you would be at some sort of fucking like consistent just fucking temperature. You wouldn't be warm, you wouldn't be cold, you would just be at some fucking like at peace fucking thing. Really? I don't know, it's weird. And I was like, that was really fascinating to me.
Weird. Yeah, I've always been. I've never even thought about that. I always thought that it was just freezing. Like you go into space and it's cold. But in a sense, it doesn't make any sense.
I started recording like a minute ago.
Did you? All right. That's fine.
Welcome to another episode of Timone Show. I'm here with Brett. We're just trying to figure out existence.
We're going down the rabbit hole here a couple times, and I'm sure you heard that on the show here a little bit. But it doesn't make sense if you go into space and it's hot or cold or anything. You know, it's just hard. It's hard to fucking wrap your mind around, man. It's like if you're closer to something, a heat source, wouldn't you get hotter? Like, so if you go into space and you go towards all these heat sources, why are you freezing? Or why are you anything? You know what I mean? Like, why are you anything? You don't have an atmosphere around you like we do here on planet Earth.
I watched a video.
Nothing to contain that temperature.
I watched a video of this dude, D Marble. I don't know if you know about him.
I heard the D Marble.
D Marble, he's a flat Earth guy. He did a video where he was video chatted with two of his buddies. One was in like the UK somewhere, the other one was in Australia. And all three of the motherfuckers could see the sun at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And I seen the flat Earth where they say the shadow is supposed to go in South Pole, right? You know, they say the shadow is supposed to just keep going, or maybe it's North Pole. It's supposed to just keep going around. So they put flags in. The shadow should actually go over 360 degrees.
But there's always a time skip when it tries to go all the way around. Yeah.
And every single time there's this whole big lapse, and it's like, why Why would you give any benefit of the doubt when this is your proof? You know what I mean? If it's your proof, you're gonna show every single second of it. I would, you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to prove to you something, I'm gonna do my best. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna clip something out and give you the benefit. You know what I mean? To doubt me, you know, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, a lot of that stuff's it's like really hard, and I know that it has to be staged, and there has to be certain levels of control involved. But is it because if we realized what we were actually in, would we continue to want to exist in, you know, or be orderly, or would we turn into think about how mankind is and how evil they are?
There'd be like if we did really live on a fucking disc or whatever, and it got out, and like everybody knew all suddenly, dude. Like think of all the fucking uproar in the fucking scientific community, dude. Think of all the fucking mass that will start following fucking religion out of fucking nowhere, because all the fucking all the shit in the Bible with like the fucking four pillars of the earth, and then the firmament, and the waters above the fucking firmament, and like and all that shit. And then you got the fucking episode of Simpsons when he fucking cracks the fucking baseball and it hits the fucking glass dome and all the water falls there, you know? They're like, and then you got Russian vids yelling at you. See, they're telling you, they're fucking shoving this shit in your face. The earth is flat. And I'm like, dude, Russian vids, dude, like, don't be so angry about this shit. People might fucking, like, take you somewhat seriously.
Yeah, you gotta have a tactful approach if you're gonna try to get your point across. But yeah, no, definitely. And I have some beliefs in like the ancient structures and civilizations that were around. Maybe did put these structures in place to hold up this illusion and simulation that we see, you know, and we experience. But then there's part of me that believes that we are affecting the world with our conscious mind, and there's a lot of theories that back that things are in chaos until it's perceived by a conscious mind. So we are actually projecting our reality as opposed to taking in a reality. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different like kind of, you know, way to go or a tangent to go on. But it kind of relates though, because like these circuit board looking structures are ancient and we don't know anything about them. You know what I mean? And we can look at the DNA or down to like everything in our world and our reality is a mathematical equation of series of ones and zeros that was invented in the 1940s that we can see and we can perceive and we can create.
What's really crazy, have you looked at like aerial views of like certain fucking like landmarks or just like cities, whatever? Do they look like a motherfucking like computer fucking motherboard and fucking computer chips and shit, dude? Like,
like it's kind of crazy, yeah. And that's part of my simulation theory is where I think we can actually perceive some of the circuit board that we're on or disc that we're on. It's a lot of it might be covered up, you know what I mean, by grass and topsoil or whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe the earth is essentially just a big machine, or it's a fucking, you know what I mean? That's our catalyst that keeps us simulated.
That's what this one guy was saying, dude. He says that like since we can't even fucking like we can't drill a hole like in the ground past like 8 miles or whatever.
Yeah.
So like there's one dude saying there's this fucking at one point throughout fucking history, we were able to do that. Now we have these big ass fucking machines down there. They're just fucking pumping out fucking whatever, dude. And that's where fucking lava and shit fucking coming from. Like, we're like a heat generated planet. So, like, then that's why they say the core is fucking whatever, fucking super hot or whatever. Cause
I can believe that because, like, I was looking in the frequency stuff earlier. And we all run on frequency, including the Earth. And the Earth has a pulse. Yeah. And the pulse is sped up over time. It actually was used to, I think, in the 1970s and 80s when they started first looking at it, it was like 7 cycles or, you know, 7 cycles a day or something like that. And then it's gone to like 9, and now it's up to like 15 since 2012. And it just continues to increase. Yeah. The frequency actually changes. And that can go with that is, hey, this is a machine. And it goes on a basic mathematical principle that it's going to increase. I forget there's actually an equation that proves this. It's like the golden circle or whatever, of life. You know, it goes like a 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, 7, 9 kind of thing. Up. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you for it on air.
Oh, it's okay. It's a Wi-Fi password.
Feel this
Pretty slick.
Feel this upload fucking start out like downloading porn onto all your shit, you know, like
That's all right. Comcast won't be too mad. It'll be alright. No, so yeah, there's some cool stuff, but yeah, I was looking at like this video right here with the snow globe where we're in.
Oh yeah, that was the big map right there.
Reality, you know?
Yeah, that's the type I'm super fascinated in. I was like, man, who came up with that? You know, like a lot of them will match. You know, they're from different.
But the crazy thing is they're from ancient civilizations. A lot of
Yeah.
those maps are
Yeah, like Buddhist and Hindu type shit.
Yeah.
You know, like.
So we're like kind of bouncing back a little bit through things, but
It's gonna happen because a lot of them are related. Because both the flat earthers and the hollow earthers will talk about Operation High Jump because they both have some deep fucking Antarctic fucking shit with them. They both talk about the Operation High Jump was some shit that I think Admiral Bard was part of, but it was just this Alaskan exploration or whatever. And like the flat earther or the hollow earthers have some shit to do. It has some shit to do with like Muslims and aliens and fucking. There's an ancient civilization living in this fucking. There's a whole fucking civilization living underground in the fucking earth, and the gateway to get down there is through this fucking tunnel in Antarctica.
All right. I mean, it's not too far-fetched, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Because, I mean, where did all those people go? Where are the Sumerians at? Where are the, you know what I mean, these ancient civilizations?
Yeah, so it's really neat. With their, like, so they both the flat earthers and the hollow earthers will talk about. I didn't know about hollow earth. I did a 3-part episode with Jamar.
Really?
And I'm here, and I was, oh man, it's good.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't really heard a whole lot of Hollow Earth. I've heard more of like Hollow Moon. Like I've heard of the moon's hollow. I've heard, you know what I mean, or it's, you know, the surface of it is just.
Have you ever heard of those 2 moons?
I've heard the 2 suns, but not 2 moons.
The 2 moons, and then the first moon. The moon that's right now isn't the real moon, it's a fucking machine. And like the original moon fucking fell, and that was the comets and the meteor fucking shower that fucking destroyed Pangea and all that, and the dinosaurs or whatever, and caused the fucking the Grand Canyon and all that fucking.
There you go. And do you think that's what caused the Earth to expand or move? You know, like I don't understand Pangea as a like. You have all these. You have one continent, right? Yeah. And then like, it got hit real fucking hard, and then water started seeping in and just pulling things apart like that. And then that's the only real thing or the thing like how I can understand it. But like,
yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Because more in the center of the
right,
it'd be super fucking thick and fucking
like where's the Grand Canyon? You know what I mean? That isn't right next to the fucking ocean. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe that's the oceans. Maybe it is the oceans, and I saw the oceans are so fucking deep because they got hit. You know what I mean? They got hit and they got filled with water. But where did that water come from? Where did the extra stuff come from to make the continents move? And then it had to grow, right? So like, where did
maybe there was maybe there was this already. Like fault lines, you know, where fucking parts of the fucking land were fucking brittle, like in the middle and shit, and then when the fucking shit just went fucking just fucking fire and brimstone all over the entire fucking planet, you know, it hit a lot of those fucking already fucking weak fault lines, and fucking it was able to just break apart easier.
Yeah, so it's very possible, and that's part of like it could be simulation, it could be real reality or whatever you want. I don't even really know what real reality is though. You know, like what is that? It's whatever you perceive to be, how you live your life on a daily basis, man. Like, how you coexist with others.
Dude, I've been watching the shit out of these videos on Wisecrack or 8-bit philosophy, where it's all video game fucking related. They're all, but then you have this British dude talking about fucking like Socrates and shit, and he'll be relating to shit, and then in the background there's be fucking like Mega Man and fucking doing a bunch of little like wild shit. I don't know, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And there's this one about how fucking he's relating fucking how we live in a world with fucking participation trophies and shit, and how it's all because of Christian morality.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe.
Yeah. Another control device. I'll do a whole web episode with you about religion sometime too. That'd be fun, man. I got some material on that for sure. Definitely have some theories. I know everyone does.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I don't really know where you want to take this. If you want to keep going down the flat Earth theory, I don't know if you've already burned that up on you.
The 2 flat Earth episodes I've done is with me and Corey, and he's just not Kozar, but Corey Ferguson.
Yeah. Oh damn, dude, I haven't seen that dude in a long time.
So
cool.
And he's just on it like, oh my god, dude, it's so full of shit. And then you got fucking athletes like Kyrie Irving and all this shit that had a big influence on kids, fucking these kids' minds up, fucking telling them the Earth is flat and shit.
What's his name? Bob is on that too right now. I think is it Bob? B.O.B.
Oh yeah, B.O.B.'s on it. Fucking
yeah, because he was on that. I seen him doing a couple of things. He's just like, I believe what I believe, you know.
Yeah.
This is, and it's just people need to wake up. And he was kind of saying that people are so blinded, and we're the whole sheeple theory. But there's also too many things out there that prove that though, that we are like under certain levels of control, like the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll talk about frequencies again one more time here, because like our music changed from back when it was Bach and Beethoven, and they were all playing in a frequency of 432, right? So that's like what they recorded there to make their masterpieces. Like that's the frequency they used, right?
Yeah.
And then they put that sound out, and what higher levels and governments and people started to realize is those actually are frequencies that our body and everything runs on, and it makes you more creative, and it makes you want to go do things. It heals you and all these other things. Where and then what they started to do is come up with new music.
This is gonna be a good segue into some shit I gotta fucking talk about. Keep going.
Yeah, definitely. So they've changed music now since that time to go under the frequency of 440, because under the 440 they see that it stifles our creative ambitions, and it makes us want to just be more submissive as a whole. You know what I mean? So there's it's down to frequencies. Again, that's how we all relate, and that's how it's moving. And it's kind of
this is why I don't like the music industry, because they just come up with all this fucking bullshit fucking music that we're all fucking like. There's no heart in music anymore. It's all about fucking appeasing to the fucking companies and all this shit. And now you just got brought up on a deeper level where they just fucking just throw out all this fucking junk. And a lot of it's actually okay music. Like, I like Taylor Swift. I like a lot of fucking pop shit that's out. I like a lot of the shit that's out, and it's like a lot of it will be good lyrics or whatever. But then they presented it this fucking frequency that
it's part, and it's
that
part
just
of your,
dulls us into a fucking.
It's part of who you are though, because like think about a 3-year-old, right?
Yeah.
3-year-old, you put on a high speed song, they're jamming, they're having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Instantly they know by nature to correlate with sounds. You know what I mean? Why is that little kid dancing and bouncing around? Or even a 1-year-old. Sometimes you see 1.5-year-old kids bouncing around doing their thing to the music. To music, because they hear this sound, and the sound is at a certain frequency that makes them move a certain way. So like when they give out that 440, yeah, it makes you happy. It makes you dancey. It makes you submissive too. And it makes you not want to go do things. And it makes, you know what I mean? It makes you want to sit there and fucking listen to this bullshit song over and over 200 times. And you know what's fucked up is like later on in your life, you'll be just sitting around and lyrics and shit will start popping in your head. And these are like residuals of this frequency actually going through your body and still existing within you. So if you come in contact with that frequency again, it's kind of like a memory. You're having the same experience again, right? So you're like, all right, I just heard the 440 frequency in a fucking subway, Taylor Swift in my head.
Yeah.
Why am I hearing this Taylor Swift song right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of truth in that, dude. It's like the music industry has been created to, kind of settle the masses and just chill and I guess some of that's good though. Like, that's not a bad thing. Okay, so go back to like the flat Earth thing and like think about if all of mankind knew we were in a fucking dome, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be a billion people going in the dome trying to break this motherfucker down, shooting everything at it that they could, doing everything they could.
Yeah, apparently they've already tried. There's someone saying that like in the U.S. and Russia were both shooting nukes into the fucking dome, and they could. When did that happen?
Now I will say there is a documentary on Netflix that goes over all of the nuclear experiments that we conducted, and it talks about our different bombs, and just we were trying to figure out, how atomic bombs affect everything. So we were actually, yeah, cool. Thanks, man. We were actually doing underground.
I forgot. I didn't ask you one earlier because you said you were sleepy and shit.
Whatever, dude. I'm always good.
Sorry to cut you off.
ADHD, my body keeps going, man. But no, so they were doing experiments underground, which they still do now. They were doing it on the surface of the planet, and then they were doing it in space. And actually, there was a couple of them that they actually did blow up in space, and it caused power outages. And it was, that's how they found out about EMPs and how that shit kind of works. Is, if we blow this shit up in space, then it's going to cause all of our devices to go down here. Our electrical grid's going to go out. It's going to cause these problems, make all of our devices stop working. But that goes into the flat Earth. Were they trying to, at the same time, break up? And when they hit that actually hit the shield or whatever around us, and that's what caused the power outages. Kind of like a little bit of a glitch in the system, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Yeah. Like, say we are in a simulated globe on a flat Earth. So if you hit the edge of your circuit board or whatever you're in, it's going to have a weird effect, right? So like, imagine we're just like a bunch of electrons or whatever, and we're splitting this atom, we're pounding against this wall, right? Or maybe it's just a capacitor inside of something, you know what I mean? Like back to like you said, Rick and Morty, the universe within the universe within the universe. Episode that they did.
We could just be part of that, dude, because like that episode just explained how society is run as a whole. Like, we just do a bunch of just pointless fucking shit, to make money, to do whatever shit.
I was thinking about that earlier, and I was just deeply trying to like understand like why I go to work and why, you know what I mean, why I'm doing these things, like. And I was like, I want to be free. Like, I'm always like, I feel like I was born into slavery, and I just want to be free, right? And like, okay, so what do I want to do? Like, what, like if I could just do anything, like, what would I do? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure this out, and like, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know. I wasn't born into that. You know what I mean? I would never be able to have that true free life experience because I was already a slave. And I have been for 30 fucking years now. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no way I can go 30 years of my life and then switch over. What my perception of freedom is never going to be what it really is. I can't live, you know what I mean? I can't live off the land and do all these like back in the day Native American type things and own things and you know what I mean?
What's the crazy thing is, what's the crazy thing is though, is we live in this society where there's so many choices. And so it's hard to do this. I read this book back in the day called Original Wisdom. It was Ancient Stories of Early Way of Knowing or some shit like that. And it's a really short book, dude. It was written by this dude Robert Wolf, dude. But it was about, he was traveling and he was traveling around in fuck, I forget where he was at. Somewhere in like Indonesia, I think. I don't remember. But he was traveling around like all these different cultures around the area, and there was this part where he was kicking it with all these little kids, and they're all in this little school setting or whatever, and he gives them all a piece of paper and a pencil or whatever, and he says, draw anything. Like you guys can draw whatever you want, and like none of these kids could think of anything to draw because they were all like they were just like they couldn't they were never given this opportunity to just come up with anything they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they were, and so then the next day he was all like, he did the same thing. He's all like, draw a house. So then all these kids just drew whatever fucking they all drew a house, and then like it was all different. Everyone drew a different house. They could now they could use their imagination or whatever because they know what their task is.
Yeah, okay.
Like.
Yeah, that's.
And this is how this is how each kid in this civilization grows up, dude. They end up doing the same job that their dad did or whatever. Just how we did like way back in the day when America started or whatever.
You really
are.
Yeah.
So now it's they just did what their dads did or their moms did or whatever, and the society just continued, and then like, and so that's where you're at. You're at this fucking road where you have so many options and you just really don't know. But if someone was just start to probably drill you on like things that you like and whatever, then you have more of an idea to narrow shit down. Like.
Yeah, well, you had a process of elimination. What do I not like? Okay, and then I figure out what I do. You know what I mean? What's left? But yeah, I guess there is an overabundance of possibilities. But I just feel like there's not. I could never have. It's just more trying to say I just never will feel that way that a free entity felt or will feel because we are in a prison of a sort, and not only am I a prisoner in this life, but I'm a prisoner as in my society that I live in. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, we're talking about being a prisoner within this prison. Yeah. You know what I mean? With a dome above us. We can't even get out of this. Which doesn't make sense to me because why is Elon Musk trying to go to fucking Mars and come back and shit? If like that shit isn't real. And you know what I mean? It's all fucking holographs or whatever theory. There's a bunch of like all the stars are really reflections underwater, all these other things. Like, why is he spending all this money and time trying to go there? You know what I mean? Like, is this dude just retarded? No, he's fucking. You know what I mean? Like this dude's a Bill Gates of fucking space. Yeah, he's gonna do it. So, and is that gonna be fake? Are you gonna be on the spaceship and then you're gonna like? Is that part of it? He's like, he knows he's in a simulation, so he's gonna make you think that you're actually traveling through space to Mars, and then make you think you actually landed on Mars, but maybe you're in fucking desolate area in Arizona or some shit. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Like, we're on Mars, and you're just fucking out in fucking Arizona. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they got that movie, The Village. M. Night Shyamalan movie where like these people just believe that they're living in the 1800s or whatever because they've just been told they've been living in the 1800s, and then as soon as they like go past a fucking tree or whatever, it's easily fucking whatever year that movie came out in.
It's crazy. Yeah, it was like they were in a national park and it was all fenced in. Like, it had this high fence around it.
They really believed they were in that, and fucking so. And then the flat earthers always like to talk about the fucking Truman Show, where this dude was just his whole entire life. He thought these people were fucking real people and they were his friends or whatever, and they were like everybody he knew was a paid actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in his entire existence except him was a paid actor.
And then that's where you gotta try to decide whether you believe that you are creating reality or your reality is already constructed toward you.
So like,
and it's more
it
seems like it's already constructed.
How big of a scale can something like that really get to? Like that's
intergalactic.
You know, it's just interesting stuff to think about. You
Yeah,
know,
everyone wants to know: are we planned, or are we, were we a big accident? Are we a
yeah.
biological mistake, or, was this all fucking, something that someone created? And I don't. No one's ever gonna know the answer to that. But it's the odds of it being created are much higher than it being an accident. And the reason I say that is because we can replicate that right now. Like I can create a leaf in a reality, and I can create a person, and I can create AI. We can create AI now. Fucking Sophia is trying to have a baby, and she wants to have a family, and she just became a citizen of Saudi Arabia. Sophia, by the way, is the first artificial female to gain citizenship in the whole world. So yeah, by the way, there is a fucking AI that has
So
citizenship rights as a
there's an
human being.
android that has a human rights.
Yes.
No shit.
Yes. So it's fucking stuff like that. It's like we're gonna go where Elon Musk is saying we're gonna like he said, it's either we're gonna become one with machines or the machines are gonna get rid of us. It's one of the two. So we better figure the fuck out what we're gonna do.
The
Real quick.
machines are going to inject us with zombie poison. It's gonna be machine zombie apocalypse all at once.
There we go. That'll make a good movie.
I'd be terrified.
But no, there definitely is. Like I have a theory behind like Bitcoin and like all the cryptocurrencies that came out.
There's a new one coming out December 1st, collector coin.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the very first Bitcoin itself was made
Yeah.
by someone that they don't even really know who it is, which maybe is staying anonymous, or maybe it's AI. And the reason I think that it is AI is because what they're doing is essentially having you figure out really. They're using all the processors around the world and graphics cards to get information faster. So they're creating blockchains, and blockchains allow them to connect with other information quicker because they have little nodes. So it's like this slider to there, you know what I mean? That's closer than this to there. So if I build a blockchain there, I can get to that information
Dude, there's
faster.
this AI YouTube channel, dude. It's this anime chick. I'm gonna pull her up here. It's fucking.
But I think once that went online, because it went online, they created their own language and shit. They had AI talking to each other, and then it ended up creating its own language, so they shut it down, right? So I think that any point, as soon as that got online, like cryptocurrency became a thing, and that's when we started to help the machines become more knowledgeable of everything in our existence, because we put in pretty much everything we know online, or you know what I mean, and now everything is under surveillance, so they're learning that way too, and you know what I mean, we're completely 100% like already under control of AI, whether we believe it or not. And cryptocurrency is the reason why they're getting stronger. It's an incentive for people. It's the smartest fucking thing ever. I'm gonna have you run this program, and you're just gonna make a couple dollars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And the ones who helped out at first are the ones who made out the most money.
So this chick right here, dude, is a fucking. I'm gonna play her real quick. Dude. She's an AI. After this commercial, dude, I'm gonna play it. It's fucking. I didn't know her at first, and then I looked her up. So I was like, dude, those chicks are into anime.
She is an AI?
Yeah, dude, she's AI, dude. Like, you don't see her at all. She dresses up like fucking Goku.
Set of 3 actions after watching Goku get a new form. Well, if they now have differences between them outside of a simple power level, could that mean this set of 3 actions could now be broken? You're about to learn what made Vegeta become a brand new warrior, a very real threat that Whis had trained himself. Because
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, most of the time you can. I mean, you can tell a little tiny bit. Now that you told me, you didn't tell me, I probably wouldn't have known. I probably would have just thought the audio was a little off. You know what I mean, or something. It was recorded bad.
Or she just talks like that just to like
You know what I mean?
just to make sure she because she might have an accent or something or something, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so it's getting more and more involved, and it's gonna, like I said, we better figure it out. Are we gonna become one with them, or are we gonna fucking become enslaved, or and
because there's not going to be a purpose for us anymore once they can self-replicate. That's what they're trying to get to. Is how do we create? That's why Sophia's very first goal is to create a family as a citizen.
Think about that. That's crazy. It just became like, and it wasn't even right away, bro. It was like, she waited a couple months. You know what I mean? It's just like a citizen, did her speech, talked to the fucking people. They, interviewed her, all this stuff. Like, she was the very first robot that actually said that she was going to destroy humans.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then they reprogrammed her or whatever, reintroduced her software, firmware, whatever she had going on, and she doesn't have that same belief.
It's gonna be Westworld.
Bro, it's like Skynet type shit. Like, for real.
It's not Skynet yet, dude. Westworld is first, and then those machines take over.
Yeah.
And then that's Skynet.
Westworld, was that the one? Is that the movie where the trucks and shit come alive and all that? Or
I never saw the movie, but there's a show on HBO, and it's based off the movie, but it's a theme park. It's all in the Wild West or whatever, and like everybody is a machine person, and like and then you can just go around and like hang out there and like go on all these different Wild West adventures, and you can fucking kill the fucking people that you like, your companions or whatever.
Oh damn, dude.
Because like they're all fucking machine people or whatever. Like you take your buddy, like, oh, let's go on these missions or whatever, fucking boo. Like, oh, I've done this one 100 times. It's really fun, You can have sex with the robots and shit, dude. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. So
like Johnny Mnemonic or Monot, however you say it. Watch that movie?
It's like a weird science on crack.
But I think we're gonna get to that point.
Anthony Hopkins is in it, dude. He's all creepy and shit, dude. Like, he turned his best friend into a fucking robot, and he doesn't know that he's a robot and shit, dude. And like, oh yeah, it's dope. It's dope, dude. Like, that was a fucking huge spoiler. No one saw any Westworld spoilers. I mean, I say that after the spoiler. I said the spoiler.
Yeah. Too late.
Sorry.
Too late.
Sorry. Yeah. That shit's almost out on. That shit's almost out on DVD now.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Oh man. Oh, dude, I just had a train of thought. I'm trying to go with.
How much time have we put in this? I always lose track on the audio only. We put in a good 7 minutes.
Damn.
Nice little session.
All right, man. Guess we'll wrap this one up. If you guys got anything to throw into this wild, wacky conversation, just keep the discussion going in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that sexy subscribe button right there. This isn't my channel that I have up, but it's going to be in the same spot when you pull up my video. So hit that subscribe button. Check me out every week. This is going to be the wackiest one, but this one doesn't upload for like another couple weeks.
Oh, you're good.
So like.
Yeah.
So,
I had to edit that one a little bit.
It'll be all right.
Right.
It'll be all right. I don't know how.
Yeah, thanks for coming over. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully,
it'll be a good. Yeah. Thanks for talking.
Further discussions about some weird shit in the future. That'd be cool.
Absolutely, man. I like going like really crazy and deep in this shit. I like doing comedy episodes. I like doing comic book anime episodes. Like I did film reviews with Jeremy. Like I just like going everywhere with this show, and it's fun, man.
Dude. Just keep it going, pumping up those videos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, catch you guys next week, and take care.